also, as well, man, I mean, your relationships, has having this many cats affected your relationships?
Yes, I was married when I didn't have very many cats at the time I was married.
How many cats did you have?
I only had about 6 or 7 then.
That's still a lot of cats.
Yes, but not for a breeder.
Right, okay.
For somebody who was breeding them and showing them. I think the majority have quite large numbers. Quite large numbers.
Wow.
You do hear of horrendous things, people with over 100 cats.
Oh, my goodness
Oh,
me.
definitely.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know how they cope, but they must have staff because with 40, I
a
find
struggle,
it
yeah.
a struggle, yes.
So when you were married, you had about 6 or 7 cats.
Yes.
And then what happened?
I had my children. I
Yes.
had 2 children.
Yes.
Son and a daughter.
Let's not forget them.
And my husband thought that I spent too much time on the cats, and there were restrictions. You're not to have any cats in the house. They have outside houses, and that was just a little bit too much for me.
Right.
So I actually divorced him, and I brought my children up from a young age.
So you actually chose the cats over your marriage?
Yes.
Wow, that is some testament to you.
Absolutely.
Now, can you name every cat?
Yes.
I'm not going to ask you to do it now, but you can remember every cat's name.
Oh, of course. And if one of my cats was outside of my back door crying, I would probably know which one it was.
Really?
Oh,
Yes,
my
honestly.
goodness.
Who are these two here?
This is the mother of the kittens. This is Charm.
Right.
She's very lovely, and the babies aren't named yet. They're not very old, so
Can you name 2 of the kittens, Rochelle and Marvin?
Oh,
you
that
mind?
would be lovely.
There was a
wouldn't
pause.
it?
There was an awkward pause.
Yeah, there was.
But Marvin's
not
got
sure.
I didn't know what you were going to come out with then.
Yes.
And yes,
Yes.
that would be marvellous.
Can we pick the 2?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go for this one here. Here we go.
I think we should go with this.
Here's
one.
little Marvin.
I think this has to be your little Michelle. I think she's absolutely
Rochelle.
adorable. Rochelle, sorry.
Rochelle, if you want.
And this is Marv. Can you see the resemblance? There we go.
Way cuter. You wish.
There he is. Look.
Oh, that's a beautiful name.
Oh, hello, Marvin.
Ah, Marvin the
Look at
cat.
him. Marv.
This one's little sister is called Roshana.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
Well, there
And-
we go.
Yeah, she's Dawn Charm, and her little sister, who's here somewhere. I don't know where she's disappeared to.
Wow.
But Roshana is here. She's lovely. She's done a lot of winning at the shows.
Roshana
recently.
and Rochelle.
Yeah.
There we go. Well,
And Marv.
thanks. And Marv, we won't forget you.
you go.
Well, thank you so much for
it's
coming.
so
Thank
nice
you. It's a
to meet
pleasure to
you.
meet your
Thank
cats.
you,
And I
Marvin.
think I've conquered my fear now.
Oh, I'm sure. Would you like to?
Oh, shit.
Come on, pick her up. She's named after you.
There we go, little
There we
Rochelle.
go.
I'm shaking. Thank you very much, Marlene. Right, still to come, we have the legend himself, Sir Terry Wogan. He's dropping by to books, I'm so scared, broadcasting, and David Bowie. He's here after the break. Oh, Marvin.
Welcome back. Still to come, we've got all of the X Factor news and Dutch singing sensation Caro Emerald will be performing.
Well, I'm excited, but first, he's here and he's racked up an impressive 4 decades in the business, held up as a beacon of broadcasting, and he's even been knighted for his incredible talent. He could teach us a thing or two.
I think he could.
That is for sure. Before we speak to Sir Terry Wogan, let's have a look at the master in action.
Steady.
Wow. What a montage.
That is impressive.
Frankly, I don't want to see those pictures of a much younger man. You know, it's
Absolutely
indecent.
brilliant.
It's
Love it.
indecent.
So Terry, we've got lots to talk about. First of all, you're here to discuss the huge American show, the Ed Sullivan Show, that's been brought back to the UK, and you're in
No
charge
nonsense. I'm here for the pleasure of seeing you.
Oh, well, that's
Rochelle.
very kind.
That's what I'm here for. First of all.
very much. You're a
But
gentleman.
the old Ed Sullivan Show. You see, nobody here has ever seen it.
Well, Marvin's a fan.
I am. I said to Rochelle
Do you
last
remember
night.
it?
Yeah, well,
you don't. You're too young.
No, I'll tell you what it is. I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan, and
Yeah.
I used to watch all of the old footage of him in the Jackson 5, and I think, was the Ed Sullivan Show the one where he was like 5 or 6, one of the first
Yeah.
big...
Well, I mean, the Ed Sullivan Show was the show that every other presenter lives in the shadow of, because the Ed Sullivan Show was that terrific, iconic thing on American television, which we didn't see here because, you know, BBC didn't buy it, and there was nobody else at the time. It was in black and white,
Right.
and Ed Sullivan was enormously powerful and popular, and also if you watch him in performance, probably one of the worst presenters in the history of television. He'd never get a job today, but, you know, he's a bit of a bumbler.
Yeah.
But the public trusted him, which is important to
Yes.
remember about television, that you don't have to be all that slick, you don't have to be all that perfect if people like you. And he had everybody on that show.
Yeah.
As I say, we're all living as presenters in the shadow of Ed Sullivan. It's a shame that we hadn't seen more of him, but I'm presenting this thing just so that you can see
Absolutely.
how important he was and the kind of people he had on the show.
I mean, was he one of the first Americans to bring the Beatles over? Is that correct?
Well, what happened was, I think he was going through London and he saw the Beatles arriving back from wherever they'd been at Heathrow and saw the huge fuss. And being the sharp journalist that he was, he signed them up immediately. And that was the first time they'd been seen on American television.
Yeah.
And of course, it wasn't just him. The Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
It was everybody.
Yeah.
It was
Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley.
The
And
Supremes.
Elvis Presley, I think, is interesting because after he'd performed once and when he came back to perform again, they only shot him from the waist up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the mothers of America
start
were
doing that.
complaining.
Don't you start doing that.
What's that?
Just shooting from the waist up.
You never know.
Yeah.
They need to. They need to. And also, let's sort of not pass over the fact that you've been hosting Children in Need for 33 years. That is a long time.
Yeah, since it started.
So that makes you 34.
Since the major... Well, yeah, I was but a child. But, I mean, we started it in 1980, the telethon idea in 1980. And it's probably the most important... It is the most important thing I've ever done on television. And, it's, you know, it has an enormous amount of affection for me, anyway. And the British public have responded. Since 1980, they've given nearly £700 million.
Wow. That's incredible.
Absolutely.
But it's
incredible.
for Britain's underprivileged children, and you know, the public respond. They responded last year in a record-breaking total, in the midst of possibly the worst economic crisis we've had for years and years.
Yeah.
So fantastic.
Well, it's something that Rochelle and I always look forward to. I mean, we've been lucky enough to take part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember
Children
you.
in every year.
Yeah.
I think I'm back again this year with the rest of the JLS boys.
Yes, so you are.
Along with One Direction and
Ellie
Ellie
Goulding,
Goulding.
yes.
We're doing something, I don't know if it's a secret or not, I think we're doing something on the EastEnders set.
Well, let's hope it's not a
Well, I
secret.
hope it's not, because if not, I'll just give
Well,
it
of course,
away,
we're doing it in Elstree
Yeah.
because the television centre is now closed for that kind of thing.
Yes.
So we're doing it over where they make EastEnders. So there will be a lot. We'll be in the Vic and all the rest of
Yeah,
it.
and I've heard the EastEnders casts are doing a big performance as well, aren't they?
Well, they always do.
Yes,
They do.
I know everyone looks forward to that.
They respond. Yeah, well, I'm delighted you're going to be doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, good.
Would you ever do a performance on Children in Need, Terry?
I continually give a performance. It's a 7-hour live performance, for goodness sake. Give me a break, Marvin.
Did you miss it?
No, hang on. I've done a bit of Strictly Come Dancing
Yes.
a couple of years ago. I've sung the Floral Dance, a rap version, which was an unmitigated disaster,
OK, cool.
which people will never let me forget.
Maybe you could be the 5th member of JLS this year.
That'd be good.
That'd be good.
That'd be fantastic.
Maybe the kiss of death.
Well, listen, Terry, you've had an incredible career. I mean, Rochelle and I are both, huge fans of yourself.
Oh, come along now.
Absolutely. I mean, first of all, have you got any advice? You know, we're new to the whole presenting thing. Have you got any advice for us as presenters?
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Get a proper job.
Yeah, this is,
No, this is.
it's a bit late for that.
No, well, maybe, but honestly, you may regret it in later life.
OK.
He's serious.
Remember
No,
today.
no, come on, you're naturals.
Thank you very much.
There's nothing I can say that can improve your performance.
Thank you. So, now, can you talk to us about your book? I know you've got a book.
Oh yeah, I've got a thing coming out, and I have another one next year. Because you've got to do something when you're a retired old geezer,
Yeah.
So I sit at home,
I know. let's
waiting
write a
for the
book.
muse to land on me head. And I've written this thing called Something for the Weekend,
Oh, right.
which is a compilation of all the articles I give for the Sunday Telegraph every Sunday. And it's a thick volume. And then next year I shall be producing a slim volume.
OK.
Oh, okay.
But this one, Something for the Weekend, comes out pretty soon. And old Ed Sullivan is on the 10th, which is the Sunday.
Yes.
And then, of course, Children in Need is on the 15th.
Great.
Wow.
So, as I say, for 11 and a half months of the year, nobody pays the slightest bit of attention to me.
Oh.
And then for a couple of weeks,
But it's all made up.
I'm running around like a chicken with its head cut off.
Exactly. So is there a target this year in which that
No,
you
you
need
mustn't.
to raise?
You mustn't do that. Last
Right.
year was a record breaker at nearly
Wow.
44 million. We're just hoping for the best.
Yeah.
That's all you can do. And if it's less, we're still grateful for whatever people give us.
Yeah.
And what would you say, Terry, over your career, what would you say is your personal biggest achievement?
Surviving. No.
You're still here.
Clinging to the wreckage. Yeah. No, children in need, obviously, is
Yeah.
the most important. And I had wonderful, wonderful years presenting a morning radio show on Radio 2. And I still do something on a Sunday with live music, which is great.
Yeah.
Maybe
Great.
JLS will come and join me.
Yeah, absolutely. Would love to. And the Saturdays.
There's a lot of
And the Saturdays.
collaborations. Yeah.
Don't come together, it's a bit crowded.
Yeah, it would be.
Small studio,
I'll let you have the
okay.
ladies first. You can have the Saturdays first.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We'll come in.
Yeah, well,
Terry,
yeah.
thank you so much. Pleasure to see you.
much.
Thank you. Right, still to come, from one great to another, Michelin star chef Atul Kutcher's in the kitchen with some delicious Diwali delicacies
Yummy.
after the break.
Welcome back. Now, in just a moment, Atul Kutcher will be cooking up a storm in the kitchen with his delicious Diwali dishes.
But now, how do you fancy winning a holiday, a stack of cash and a top-of-the-range car?
I do.
Here's Brian and Vogue with all the details.
Good luck. And in the kitchen with Michelin star chef Atul Kutcher with some festival food ahead of Diwali on Sunday.
Atul, what are you cooking for us today?
Well, you know, Diwali is not a festival where you sit down like Christmas meal.
Okay.
So
Right.
it's a festival where you worship Goddess Lakshmi, Goddess of wealth. You want to welcome her home, and after worshipping, you go meet your friends and family. So you move from one home to the other, and you cannot sit down and eat in every home, every
Right,
household,
yes.
and eat. It'll be a bit too much, guys. So we came up with a system where we have small bites to eat.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
That's what I brought for you guys. So first is, right now, Jerusalem artichoke is
Right.
not in India. In India, we use something similar called colocasia or arbi. And that is first boiled and then deep fried just to get the sugars out, so it caramelizes a bit. And then we put with these ingredients, deep fried onion and garlic, chilies, black pepper, salt, a little bit of breadcrumb just to hold it together because it has got a little bit of potato, half a potato or something, and cashew nuts just
And
to enrich
is that half a potato, is that boiled?
It's boiled, yes,
Right, okay.
absolutely. And then some paprika and some garam masala. And then I got this mixture ready for you, Rachel, here.
Right.
And there's a lot of mint and coriander in there as well.
Okay.
So could you make me small
I
patties,
will. I'm
dainty
just
patties
going to
like
quickly wash my hands
that?
because
Oh, yes, of
Oh, the
course.
cat.
of the cats.
Yes.
Lovely cats. I really like them.
They're tiny, weren't they?
Fantastic.
Apparently the cats are trending on Twitter.
Are you serious?
Oh, wow. Wow.
We're not, but the cats are.
Well, the next one is Goddess of Lakshmi sits on
Right.
a flower. Her
Right.
throne is actually on a flower lotus. So
Okay.
we actually love lotus flower in India, and I'm sure anywhere else as well.
Yeah, very
So
pretty,
I'm
isn't
using some lotus seeds. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of oil here.
And where would
Rachel,
you buy
do you
those?
meanwhile just make me some patties?
Yeah.
That
Where
big
would
or not?
do you want me to make it?
Small dumplings like that.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
I'm doing a
Lightly.
home, so you can.
Do you know what? You did this last time. He shows off when he's here and acts like he cooks at home, and he cooks zero. The most he cooks is beans and bacon.
That's a big lie.
But I
It's a
heard
big-
you were a partial chef.
I am, exactly.
Don't
See?
encourage him
I
at
am.
all. He does not
this
need
man
any
knows. I like this man.
encouragement.
So who's the
Absolutely.
cook at home?
Me, I cook everything. Are
You
these
cook
the
it.
right size?
The right size, absolutely right size.
Right,
Just
okay.
Flatten them a bit and put them in there for me,
Okay.
please.
Baby, you can get stuck in here.
Okay.
Yeah, do it. Okay, once these are toasted, they go in the milk, straight.
Oh, they are quite
Oh,
sticky.
wow. And
Okay.
what's that you're toasting there again?
There's only milk here at the moment.
And what did you just put into the milk?
Those are lotus seeds.
Lotus
We also
seeds.
call them fox nuts.
Oh, so that's what happened to them?
Absolutely. And then sugar,
Oh, wow, amazing.
cardamom, which has been crushed into a powder. Okay?
Okay.
Just the seeds. We got some pistachio.
This smells unbelievable.
I got some raisins. And again, some chopped cashew nuts. And also some
How long
walnuts.
does it take people to